perform under the name Gunna?
Yes.
And did you see that gentleman, if you recognize that gentleman in this, Mr. Williams, number 22?
Yes.
Okay. Kokomo, can you take us to and just remind us of the exact time you're showing so the Honorable Court is aware and the parties and the jury?
About a pink Caterpillar Porsche. Pink Caterpillar Porsche.
What's going on, Tracy?
Mr. Stevens, do you recognize the person that Mr. Kokomo stopped the number at 14954? Do you recognize who that is?
I know. Yeah.
Who is it?
Jeffery Williams.
Okay. And what Mr. Williams is doing with his hand, is that similar to what it's in the indictment count 1 overt act number 156 that we've shown you before?
Yes.
Okay. And that is a P, you said earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you realize or do you know that the song Pushing P and the video were released shortly around January 16, 2022?
I didn't realize that, but
So objection, Your Honor, as to his knowledge and speculation.
I sustain objection.
If I showed you something to refresh your memory, would that, do you know when it first came out? Are you familiar? When that video and song first came out and was released?
I know exactly when it came out, but just not the exact date though. I remember the timing. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, can you describe the time?
Not as in no date, but
We just catching up on the Thug case. This is his boy Trontavious. He took a plea deal, and they're asking him about Gunna and when this music video came out.
Do you know whether it was around the date that's listed in the indictment that's in front of you? And if you don't know, just say, I don't know. It's fine. We'll do it.
I don't know.
That's fine. Okay. But that's certainly not a blood sign in the indictment. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, with regards to when Mr. Williams, when you knew him, when he was starting out to try to become
What up, Eric?
an accomplished musical artist. Accomplished means like a,
Objection as to compound.
I sustain the question.
when, let me ask you a different way. When you knew Mr. Williams, when he first started out trying to become a professional musical artist, okay? I want you to lock in on that time, okay? Is that okay? Did social media and followers have any, if you know, have any type of significance to Mr. Williams to get out his?
Objection as to speculation, and it would call for self-serving hearsay.
I sustain the objection.
Trontavious is on the stand. He's snitching. Well, he ain't snitching. He took
I
a
don't want
plea.
you to
He's
say
doing his
anything Mr.
job.
Williams said. Do you know whether Mr. Williams used social media to try to broadcast his music?
Objection again as to speculation.
Well, let's see if he knows, and then I'll rule on the objection. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yes.
Okay. And
But I'm gonna rule the objection.
And with regards to social media, was it more than music? If you noticed, did Mr. Williams also put out videos of himself?
Yes.
And did he also communicate to people to try to get their attention and to have followers?
Objection as to the mindset.
I sustain the question.
Nah, the case is actually going pretty good.
Think about mindset. Did he put out also statements on social media? to try to get fans?
Objection as to
I
trust.
sustain the question.
Did he put out statements on social media?
Yes.
And did he do all that under the moniker or branding Young Thug?
Yes.
And if you know, was Mr. Williams trying to portray a certain type of image on social media?
Objection as to mindset.
I sustain the question.
You know if Mr. Williams portrayed a certain image as to himself on social media?
Objection.
I sustain the question.
Did Mr. Williams put forth a gangster rap image on social media?
Yes.
And do you know whether Mr. Williams had a lot of followers when he did that? Followers on Instagram.
Objection calls for.
Shout out to OT, man.
If he knows.
Free slime. He'll be free in about 25 to 30 years when they get done with him.
Okay. And do those social media accounts show how many people are following?
Yes.
And did Mr. Williams, from this conduct, from this entertainment, did it have a lot of people following him?
Objection as to compound and.
I sustain the question as to form.
Did he have a lot of followers?
Yes.
And were the followers
What up,
building
Amir?
over time?
Yes.
And did you notice that it was increasing a large amount? Did you notice?
Yes.
And did it eventually get to a point that Mr. Williams had millions of followers?
Yes.
Know how many millions at any given time?
I know millions though.
Couldn't hear you.
I don't know the exact millions, but I know it's millions.
Now, was there a time that you were mad at Mr. Williams?
She got to
for the
object to
content of
everything.
his song?
He a state witness. Her job is to protect him so he can give all the information for them against Mr. Jeffery Williams.
Man, the content of the songs.
I ain't trying to hear that. Doug told me he was the realest nigga in it. Or was that Jeezy?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen why.
Because I knew that he was teasing me.
Tell them. Tell them what you mean by that.
He made a song and he referred to me as robbing women. At that time, the whole neighborhood was poking fun at me for being accused of robbing women because they knew that.
Objection as to what the neighborhood.
I sustain the question.
They knew what I was known for, which was selling
I
drugs.
sustain. You can't answer the question.
All
Fine.
Don't, Mr. Stevens.
So he did get
don't say
arrested
what
for
other
robbing
people
women.
think, just say what you would think.
Women,
Why would
and
you
now
be
he's saying
mad at
Young
Mr. Williams?
Thug was teasing him. But Young Thug put it in the song talking about Tick or Robbie.
It was false.
So not only that, Young Thug was lying.
And did Mr. Williams, were you also mad at him because you believed in other lyrics he was describing things that you did, but taking credit for it?
Yeah.
So Young Thug
And
was
why did that
playing his
bother you?
lifestyle.
Your Honor, I object as to generalization. That's.
I sustain the question as to form, Mr. Steele. You can rephrase it.
Mr. Stevens, why did it bother you? Why were you mad at Mr. Williams for using lyrics about your life as if he did?
An objection as to what there is to specificity.
I sustain this to form.
It could be any. Did you ever get mad at Mr. Williams because he was taking credit for things that you know you did? in his lyrics?
Oh no, OT. This trial looking a little
I
shaky.
felt the way.
I apologize.
I felt a certain type of way. I had a feeling about it.
Okay,
You're gonna
tell the lady.
object as to non-responsive, you don't know.
I stand, just rephrase or redirect him, or refocus him, I should say, Mr. Steele.
Instead of saying you felt a certain type of way, can you be more specific with that, Mr. Stevens? Why you were mad at Mr. Williams?
No, I did. Yeah, I said I felt a certain type of way. I really can't put. Say probably jealousy.
Mm.
Felt, yeah, probably jealousy because I knew it was something I could have been rapping about and potentially making money of it.
Now,
But you told us yesterday you didn't want to rap. So why would you be jealous if you didn't want to rap? That's what the prosecutor should say.
to try to get fans on social media and followers in rap songs, if you know.
No, I'm not in the business.
I couldn't hear you. You're not in the business, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Do you remember Jeffrey wearing really tight pants before they were popular?
Yes.
And based upon Jeffrey's popularity growing and this fashion that he wore, did other people start wearing really tight pants?
Objection, compound speculation.
A sustained objection.
Rephrase it.
Did people follow Jeffrey's lead, if you know, to wear tight pants?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Did people wear tight pants after
Objection,
Jeffrey?
general, overbroad, irrelevant.
I sustain the question.
Did you notice that after Jeffrey started wearing tight pants, other people in your neighborhood wore tight pants?
Yes, it became a trend.
I couldn't hear you.
Yes, it became a trend.
Trend?
Nigga, leave the mic alone,
Tight
nigga.
necklace around the neck. Did Jeffrey start that as well?
To our neighborhood, or like,
Anyway, did you notice that he started to wear tight necklaces?
I noticed his stuff started getting tight. Yes.
And did you notice that other people again followed that trend?
Objection, speculation.
I sustain the question.
He asked if you noticed.
Whether other people.
This is not
Whether other people, that's speculation.
Did you notice other people wearing tight necklaces after Jeffrey started that?
I noticed other people's things starting to get tight too.
It would be fair to say that Jeffrey was being watched and he became
He on trial, OT, chill.
a trendsetter, to use your word.
Objection, compound, and speculation.
I sustain the question.
Do you know whether people followed what Jeffrey was wearing, singing about?
Objection, speculation.
Sustain.
Did people start dressing like Jeffrey?
Objection.
Nah, that nigga Jeffrey was wearing dresses, nigga. Jeffrey was different. Now maybe Lil Wayne.
Do you know whether after Jeffrey started to wear certain fashion, other people started to dress like that? Do you know this?
Trontavious, answer the question.
I
People
don't know
think-
exactly why they did it, but I started seeing similarities in what he was doing and what other people were doing.
And when you first met Jeffrey in approximately 2007, that year is, like you said before, what was he called? What was the typical name that you called him and people called him?
Little Jeff.
And do you know what his father's name is?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen the jury.
Big Jeff.
So this whole time, Young Thug wasn't a big dog. He was little Jeff. Damn, I thought Young Thug was really like that, man. I got to stop listening to bro's
Now,
music.
we talked about Jeffrey wearing tight jeans. Do you know, don't speculate, do you know whether Jeffrey got any criticism? That means, did people go against him for wearing tight jeans, if you know?
Shout out to my boy Tommy. Me and him used to be in the Air
And
Force
what-
together. That boy can
Tell
hoop.
us about that. What did people
That dog can hoop.
that you're aware of?
I'm aware that they was accusing him of being gay.
Ooh.
A homosexual?
Yes.
And did that help, if you know, Jeffrey's popularity?
Objection, speculation.
If he
I
knows.
sustain the question. Well, let's see if he can answer the predicate. So you can ask him that again.
You can answer.
Oh, my bad. You can say it again. All the objections. So
No, it's my fault.
Nigga said my bad.
Not your fault. You ready? There's nothing to do. You ready? The question is, if you know, did being called gay affect Jeffrey's popularity on social media?
Your Honor, I object to that because.
That's a different question. I'm gonna sustain that, though.
Dang, they was calling Thug gay back in the
Did
day.
being called gay affect Jeffrey's popularity at all?
Objection, Your Honor, as to,
I sustain it.
If you know.
Your Honor, you can't fix it with adjective.
Yeah, I'm sustaining the question.
Okay. Now,
Come on, Brian, get one out, man.
did you know that Jeffrey, besides music, branched out into fashion as a business?
yes.
And do you know Spider? You know this Spider brand?
Yes.
What is Spider brand?
A brand, a clothing brand.
And whose clothing brand is that?
Jeffery Williams.
I'm going to show you what has been previously marked and shown to you. Mr. Williams, number 9, then we're going to number 10.
So right now, what Brian Steele is trying to do is show that Thug wasn't really living these raps. He was rapping about John Tavia's life, and John Tavia's was jealous because he didn't get in on anything.
Do you
Of the legitimate
recognize who's
side.
in that picture?
Yes.
And do you recognize the clothing shown in that picture?
Yes.
And do you recognize the color of that clothing?
Yes.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the clothing and the person who's wearing it in that picture, number 9, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll move for the admission of number 9.
Any further objection to defendant's 9?
Objection.
No, Your Honor, not tonight.
No objection.
Defendant's 9 is admitted and may be published as you see fit, sir.
It should be on the screen, but it's right in front of you, Mr. Stevens. Who is that gentleman in Mr. Williams, number 9?
Jeffery Williams.
And is he wearing what I'd call a hooded sweatshirt?
Yes.
And can you see the type or brand on that sweatshirt?
Yes.
What brand or type is that?
Spider brand.
And who owns Spider brand, to your knowledge?
Jeffery Williams.
Jeffery Williams.
Okay. And what color is that hooded Spider brand sweatshirt?
Rip.
Blue with white words. And
Then do you notice a jacket on top of the hooded sweatshirt?
yes.
And what color is that jacket?
Blue.
Do you notice pants being worn by Mr. Williams in number 9?
They trying to step him away from the
And
blood
what
game.
brand is that?
Spider clothing brand.
Same owner of that brand?
Yes.
And what color?
Blue with white words.
And then the shoes. You see shoes?
Yes.
And do you know what type of shoes they are? And if you don't, that's fine.
Them Versace.
Yes or no?
Versace. Say that. That's what it looked like.
No, I don't.
Okay. And the laces appear to be what color on the right foot?
Red,
And how about the left foot?
blue.
I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams' number 10 that should be in front of you. I think I gave that to you. It might be.
Yeah, so what they about to do is separate him
No,
away
that's
from
the
wearing
tongue.
red.
One more
The
time.
lace is blue on both on it. That look like that's the tongue.
Okay. It's the tongue is red.
Oh, yeah, I answer to the best of my ability.
That's fine. That's fine. Do you see Mr. Williams' number 10? It may be under number 9.
What up, Nikia?
Yes,
You never seen that before?
yes,
And there are 2 gentlemen in that picture. Is that fair to say?
yes,
Do you recognize both of those gentlemen?
yes,
And is that picture depicted in number 10 of Mr. Williams fair and accurate depiction of both of those people?
yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of number 10.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am. You have any further objection to defense?
I'd ask to be allowed to voir dire as to 10 for the admission.
All right.
Good morning, Mr. Stevens.
One,
Were you present when that picture was taken, defense exhibit number 10?
no,
Do you recognize the area that that picture was taken in?
no,
Can you say with certainty whether that picture accurately describes or accurately reflects whatever was present in that area at the time that the picture was taken?
He don't know what that means.
can I say that? Well, no,
Your Honor, state objects to number 10.
Foundation?
He has no basis.
Foundation?
Yes.
Still anything else?
That would go to weight, Your Honor, not the admissibility.
I'm gonna sustain the state's objection at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, like
All right.
Mr.
Yeah, I can give you
Steele,
number 11
he's
if you
trying to
can
do his
that, and it
thing,
might
but
be
right
13.
now he's not separating
I only
anything.
have
And he
9
the
and
judge is
10.
like, nigga, that was some bullshit. Where were you going with that? Well, you see, Your Honor, he
Yeah,
doesn't
man.
wear red.
Yes, sir.
Good try though. You gotta earn your check, and that's one thing Brian still is doing. Now I'm not on either side. I'm just looking at it as a juror, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
yes,
And do you recognize any of the people shown in Mr. Williams 13?
yes,
Do you recognize both those people?
yes,
And does the photograph accurately show the way those 2 people look?
yes,
And were you present when that image was taken?
no,
Have you seen that image before?
yes,
Okay. And is that what now is Mr. Williams 13 accurate the way you've seen it before?
yes.
No, I
Where
was
have
planning
you
on
seen it
covering it.
before?
It was just
Um,
all the pre-trial
Social
and like
media?
nonsense. I
Your
wouldn't
Honor, I
want to
move
watch
for
if
the
they have
admission
witnesses.
of Mr. Williams, number 13.
If they don't have any witnesses up there, I really don't care about the trial. Other than that, if they just talking, like they're probably going to have a half a day because they resumed. They came from recess at about 10:30, and it was supposed to be 10 o'clock. So they'll probably have a short day today. But I did want to cover the trial.
you got 13 in front of you, young man?
I ain't never watched a RICO in real time. So
All right.
what about
Go ahead,
noon?
sir.
So they're probably
Mr.
gonna
Stevens,
have lunch.
as to defendants 13, Mr. Steele asked you where or whether you've seen that photograph before, and you said on social media.
Yes,
Did you place that photo on social media?
No.
Do you know anything about the time that that photograph was taken?
No.
Do you know anything about the surroundings in that photograph?
No.
Do you know anything about whether that photograph accurately reflects what was in the camera range at the time the photograph was taken?
No.
In other words, do you know whether or not that photograph accurately reflects the surroundings that those people are in at the time the photograph was taken?
No.
Is the only basis for your saying you recognize that photograph that you've seen it on social media?
Yes.
And is your knowledge of the photographs that you saw on social media any greater than your knowledge of the photograph as it sits before you today?
I seen it on
Hell
social
no.
media.
Your Honor, based on that, as through this witness, I would object to that photograph.
I'll overrule the objection, madam.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna admit it. E13 may be published as you see fit.
See, and people were saying that the
On
judge was
screen
biased.
Is Mr. Williams number 13. Can you make that bigger without making it unreadable?
Yeah, Rainey, he's not considered a
Mr.
snitch.
Kokomo.
He is a snitch. He signed a plea deal, which means he will be cooperating, which is why he's up here. He's already identified Young Thug, Jeffery Williams, and everyone else in there as a part of YSL. Now, I know people were saying that he didn't build YSL, the label, but we're talking about YSL, the gang.
Mr. Stevens, can you see the screen?
And he has
what's-
said-
and it's in front of you as well.
He's also said that they sold drugs. And he gave the
describe
address
to
to
the
the trap
jurors and
house,
tell them
gave the address
by
to
what
the gas
people are wearing,
station. Yeah,
who is seen in that photograph, please.
that's nut. Pause.
Jeffery Williams got on blue shirt, blue pants, and this nut. He got on a white shirt with
Okay.
plaid shorts.
And you use the name Nut. N-U-T, does that sound right?
Yes.
And do you, by any chance, if you don't, that's fine, know what Nut's government given names?
Yes.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen jury?
Donovan Thomas.
And by looking at, if you know, Mr. Williams, number 13, who posted this photograph of Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas, Donovan Thomas, on social media?
Do I know who posted it?
Yeah. Do you know whose Instagram account it was?
Yes. Nut.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury who Instagram account posted it.
Nut.
And for some people who may not know,
This is
can
the
you
guy that
explain what it
they're
means
saying
by
Young Thug
posting
had
on your
killed.
social media account? What does that
Allegedly.
mean?
Uploading the image from your phone to the internet.
Okay. And at the top, you see where it says big business underscore ENT underscore nut.
Yes.
Do you recognize that as somebody's social media handle?
Yes.
Whose social media handle is that?
Nut.
And then, Mr. Kokomo, if you don't mind just scrolling.
Hey,
to the,
call the dude by his
bottom.
real name, bro. Oh, they booling, y'all. They booling that big
If
homie.
you know, you see where it says in the first line, 444 likes, you see that?
Yes.
If you don't know, just say, I'm not sure. What does it mean with the number 444 and the word likes next to it on social media?
That 444 people liked the picture.
And then underneath that, again, it says big business underscore ENT underscore nut. And then it's written, me and little bro. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And then it has an ampersand, thugger 1. Bullying at big homie.
Booling.
At Birdman with a 5-star kind of. pound 25 million, sky the limit. You see all
Now
that?
remember,
Yes,
he had a 5 on
I'm
his
in the
fighter brand,
race, blood love.
and
See
they
all
said
that?
it was
Yes.
Juice WRLD, but it's
And
not.
whose social media account wrote that? I know you don't know who wrote it, but whose social media account is that attributed to?
Nuts,
Okay. And what date was that posted?
May 26, 2014.
Were you aware whether Mr. Thomas and Mr. Jeffery Williams were friends?
Your Honor, I'd ask for clarity, vague
I stand the question. You can rephrase it, sir.
timeframe.
To your knowledge, was Mr. Thomas, Donovan Thomas, and Mr. Williams friends?
Timeframe, Your Honor, vague.
I stand the question. Just rephrase it.
Before the death of, well, where were you? If you remember, I know dates are not good. Do you remember where you were the end of 2014, beginning of 2000, let's say January 2015, if you know?
In 2014.
So now they're trying to basically discredit him and say he wasn't around to know if the hit
No,
was
it's not.
actually put down by Young Thug in the organization YSL. Basically to discredit him as a witness.
Jail?
You were in custody?
Yes.
In jail?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that for the end of 2014 going to beginning of 2015?
Yes.
But you're clearly out in some point of early 2015 because you told the jury about being sent home from the rodeo tour. You remember that?
Yes.
And you were clearly out on your birthday in 2015, April 26th.
Yes.
Is that true? Okay. All right. At the time that you were in custody, put in custody, 2014, do you remember when that was? And if you don't, that's fine.
At the time when I was in custody?
Yeah, were you in custody the end of 2014 going into beginning of 2015? If you know, and if you don't know, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do you remember approximately when you were arrested and put in custody in 2014?
Yes.
Approximately when was it?
I think that's the date we've been just going over. October 14th, October 2014. I don't know the exact date.
That's fine. And that was shown days ago
Yeah,
with that allegation.
Right.
When you were arrested.
that's how I remember. Yeah.
Okay. So let's use that as a date. At that time, October 2014, do you know whether Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas were friends?
Objection, Your Honor, as to vagueness, same objection.
Let's see if he knows. I'll consider the objection based on his next response.
If you know,
Yes.
were they friends?
Yes.
I'll
Okay.
hold the objection.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this May 26, 2014, who is referring to who? So you tell us the speakers as Little Bra. Who is Little Bra as you read that on social media?
Jeffrey.
Okay, and who is calling Jeffrey Little Bra?
Nut.
All right.
Damn.
I want to talk with you.
Nut is the
Thank you,
op,
sir.
allegedly.
I want to talk with you about April 26, 2015, your birthday, okay? Prosecutor was asking you these questions on that day, and you remember going into the compound to see an entertainer that you really liked. Remember you talked about paying $500, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay, that's the day I'm talking about. Are you aware at some point that the tour bus of Lil Wayne was supposedly shot?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury what information you have at all that Jeffery Williams was in any way involved with the shooting of that tour bus.
Any at all?
Your Honor,
You have an objection, madam?
I do not.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Can you answer the question, sir?
I don't have any information at all.
Okay.
He said he ain't got no info, so at least for the shooting,
Now,
don't have any info. But he did
You've
say the
been
other day that
to,
they all had guns when they went to compound.
concerts, musical concerts, fair to say?
Yes.
Have you ever been to a sporting event, Hawks game, something like that?
I've been to a sporting event. Yes.
And at the sporting event that you went to, were they selling, you call it merchandise? Were people selling merchandise, if you remember?
I know that they sell merchandise there.
Okay. When you were shown earlier a red hat and it said, Bompton, Bompton, you remember seeing that video or the photograph rather?
Yes.
They
Was
played
that being
Push T at the
sold
beginning of
at a
this.
show?
I waited to go live after they
Yes.
finished.
And do people make money off of that?
Yes.
And do you know whether any YSL merchandise or merch is sold at shows?
Yes, yeah.
And do you know whether people can buy YSL merchandise over the internet?
Yes.
And do you know whether people can buy Spider merchandise over the internet?
Yes.
And is all this a business?
Yes.
Do you know, if you know, does Jeffery Williams have a record label, YSL?
Yes.
And does he promote his records, albums, musics, mixtapes, whatever it is, through YSL?
Yes.
If you know, and if you don't know, just say I don't know. Has that record label also been bought by a publicly traded company?
Objection, basis.
If he knows.
I'll overrule the objection, madam.
I don't know somebody about it.
You don't know, you
No.
found. That's fine. All right. Okay.
You gotta go slower, Brian. You know this nigga can't keep up. Pause. I know this is the worst week of this dude's life, including last week.
Are you aware that Jeffrey also performs with other people in music?
Yes.
And do you know some of the artists that Jeffrey has performed with? And if yes, tell the jury.
Yes.
Objection as to relevance.
Mr. Steele?
Goes to what Jeffrey Williams does, Your Honor, for his living, not a member of
I
a.
sustain it. I should say, I'm gonna overrule the objection. He can testify that if he knows.
Post Malone.
Okay. And what type of music is Post Malone known for?
Country.
Rock and roll. Different. I don't know what kind of artist it is. I said that because that one I like.
That's fine.
Ones I like.
Do you know whether Mr. Williams has ever done work with, an artist named Rihanna?
Yes.
Okay. Elton John?
Yes.
Has Mr. Williams, to your knowledge, does he have a song out with Elton John?
Yes.
Is it a popular song, if you know?
Yes.
You know the name of that song.
Yes.
What is it?
Hi.
Okay. Do you know whether Mr. Williams has done work with an artist, if you know the artist, Ed Sheeran?
Your Honor,
But
I'm
right
going
now,
object to
he's
the
trying to
line of
give all the
questioning
pop
regarding how
artists.
many or who all Mr. Williams has done work with, if it was to establish that he.
You
was
haven't heard him
a rapper,
mention
no one
Gucci
says
Man.
that.
You haven't heard him mention
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Pee Wee Longway. You haven't heard him mention Migos.
Oh.
He's trying to clean up the act.
That's okay. Do you know whether Mr. Williams has done music with a musical artist named Ed Sheeran?
Yes.
That's a good move.
How
dude.
about, do you know an artist named Drake?
Yes.
Do you know if Mr. Williams has done music with Drake?
Yes.
How about except not just rap music, do you know whether Mr. Williams also does popular music?
Yes.
How about African beats?
Push it B.
Yeah, country.
Okay, country. And did Mr. Williams, to your knowledge, have a gigantic country hit?
Yes.
How about Latin music?
I know it's several different genres.
Okay. Do you know whether Mr. Williams has performed in almost every continent in the world?
Yeah.
Do you know whether he's performed in front of over 300,000 people as the headliner?
Objection, Your Honor.
I sustain
What's
the
the
question.
relevance?
When Jeffery Williams, you were asked a series of questions. On direct examination, that means when the prosecutor was asking you questions about whether the conduct of YSL and its associates and members enhance the notoriety, the respect, the reputation. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury how crime on Cleveland Avenue committed by YSL, you or its members, helped Jeffery Williams, when you answer those questions, get respect, reputation, image, notoriety, street credibility. Tell them.
Objection as to relevance.
We're gonna be here all day with
Objection
them
as
doing
to the
this.
court will
I
get the law.
sustain the question.
Your Honor, this goes directly to questions asked on direct examination.
Doesn't make them still objectionable though. So I'm gonna sustain the objection at this point in time.
Tell the jury from being a member of YSL, that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Tell the jury how Jeffery Williams benefits from YSL, the criminal street.
Hit that like button. You see what Kendall talking about. Right now, they're making Jeffrey
Ain't
Williams
no
look like an
benefit.
innocent man. Now, it
I don't
depends
feel
on
like
what
he
the jury
benefit. I don't-
believes.
He don't benefit.
But anyone with a brain and at least 2 or 3 brain cells,
Now,
they're like, this dude, thugger in this mother.
earlier you went through in the indictment with me, you were kind enough, when it was, y'all just start bringing me the money, remember 24 M's on an N, remember that? And I know what you testified to, as the jurors will remember. But why, explain to jurors, why would Jeffery Williams need money from you or anybody else living on Cleveland Avenue? I'm not trying to insult anybody. Just answer that question if you don't mind.
Objection as to
I
speculation.
sustain the question.
Do you ever give Jeffery Williams any money?
No.
Money is a hard commodity to get for you, isn't it?
Yes.
And for many people on Cleveland Avenue, is that fair to say?
Objection
I
speculation.
sustain the question.
Wait, my turn? Oh,
Nice.
my bad.
There's no
Hey,
question.
look at the
Oh,
look at the
no,
prosecutor. She laughed. He said, "Is it my turn?"
Now, when you talked about being upset with Quentin Porter, Blue, remember, and you wanted to separate from Rock Crew, do you remember that?
Yeah.
You want to separate from him, Mr. Quentin Porter, right?
Yeah.
And Jeffrey took on the YSL as his record label to sing about. Is that true?
Yeah.
As Jeffrey's popularity grew, did a lot of people in the neighborhood start singing and saying we're YSL?
Yes.
Was there any rule to get into YSL?
No.
Could Jeffrey, to your knowledge, stop somebody from saying, I'm YSL?
No.
Could Jeffrey stop someone from putting a tattoo on their face, their arm, their,
Objection as to speculation and compound.
I sustain the question.
do you know whether Jeffrey could stop someone from putting a tattoo on their body?
Objection as to
Still-
speculation.
Still speculation, Mr. Steele. I sustain the objection.
Could he stop you
Come
from
on,
putting a
still
tattoo on your body?
speculation, Mr. Steele.
No.
And you said earlier that people were copying, this is my word, Jeffrey, I think your word was, he was trending or something like that. You remember that?
Yes.
And he was clearly now singing about YSL, right?
Yeah.
He was clearly wearing certain clothing a certain way, right?
Yes.
And he was clearly,
Well, let me just catch you guys up because they're not talking about anything at the moment. All Brian Steele is trying to do is establish that Young Thug didn't have anything to do with the gang. And what he's saying is Young Thug isn't the leader of the YSL gang because he didn't have any power to tell people not to say YSL. People just started doing whatever Young Thug was doing because of his popularity. Now, Trontavious is trying his hardest, and I know it's hurting his brain to try to, process what they're saying and give an accurate response without getting Jeffrey in trouble. But he's already said enough. Just the simple fact that they got on his ass. Last week, he was playing around a little bit, talking about, I don't know, none of that. Well, it looks like his lawyer may have talked to him this week and said, hey, you need to start answering those questions a little more truthfully and be a little more forthcoming with your information, because if not, they're going to lock you up. Now, he has a regular job. They actually cleaned him up because last week he was just in here in hoodies and stuff. But Brian Steele is slow playing it. And sometimes a lot of fluff in court is cool because you got the jurors over there. But if they can just hear enough information, like, okay, he's not in this. He did songs with Elton John, with Drake. Who doesn't love Drake? Post Malone. But he didn't mention any of the black artists because he wanted to establish that Young Thug is a pop artist about his business and not in the rap game. It's a good move. It's a good move, but we'll see how this plays out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. On Wednesdays, we'll probably do this. It's just during the week, I don't really have time, but I definitely wanted to get on here. Whenever they start bringing up significant witnesses, we'll have them on here.
Jeffrey became wildly popular, right?
Yes.
And from your area that you grew up in and that he was there a short period of time,
Yeah.
who else from that area is that popular?
Nobody.
Would you describe the fact that Jeffrey's efforts and talent,
Excuse me.
that's all right, created a brand? Do you know what I mean by brand? Something marketable that people liked.
Objection, speculation.
I sustain the objection.
But did you like it? I know you're jealous, you said of Jeffrey at times, but were you proud of him?
Yes.
He did something. Were you shocked at what he did? From where he came from?
Objection.
Amazing.
compound.
Objection,
I
Your
sustain the
Honor.
question's form. Rephrase, Mr. Steele.
Okay. How would you describe, in your own words, how you feel about the fact where Jeffrey, you know where he came from to where he grew? Did you ever think that was possible?
I would have rapped the Biggie song. Whoever would have thought hip hop would
Yeah,
take it this
was
far.
amazing, man.
To your knowledge, do you know whether people say that they know Jeffrey who really don't know him?
Objection, speculation.
I sustain the question.
Have you ever been in a situation where you knew that someone did not know Jeffrey, but they claimed to be able to contact him?
Objection, foundation.
I sustain the question.
Now, Jeffrey, you said, gave opportunities to you and others. Fair to say?
Yes.
And although he wouldn't give anyone money, would Jeffrey be free to open his house to others?
Yes.
And if they needed a place to stay, could they come to his home?
Yeah, if he knew you, yeah.
If he knew you.
Yeah.
And how about vehicles? If somebody needed a vehicle, to your knowledge, would Jeffrey let people drive cars that he had?
Yes.
Don't go down that road,
Sure,
Brian.
You know about how people can get cars if they know Jeffrey in his home.
Don't go down this road, Brian, because he rented a car
That's
allegedly
my
for him to go do the
Yes.
drive-by.
The drawer in his house with all the keys and he just, I don't even ask. I just grab them.
Mm.
And what type of cars are we talking about? I know they change over time. Just give me an example. The type of cars we're talking
I
about.
speak from my experience.
Sure.
I've driven Rolls Royce truck, Bentley truck, Jeep truck. Yeah, I've driven a lot of them.
And from your experience and knowledge, would Jeffrey rent cars for other people if they needed a car
Yeah,
in his own name?
yeah,
And did other people, including yourself, at times, were you able to rent a car? Did you have a credit card?
no,
But Jeffrey would do that for you and others?
yes.
And would he ask any questions about where you had taken the Bentley Jeep, or was it just, here you go?
Sometimes I didn't even know I was gone.
Same with rental cars?
Yeah.
See, I see what Brian's trying to do. He's trying to say, see, when they rented that car, he didn't know where they
Now-
were at.
To get to the rodeo tour, I know you were sent home. Is it fair to say you were sent home by plane?
Yes,
To get out to the rodeo tour, were you taking a tour bus? When I say you, did Jeffries have a tour bus? And if you don't remember, so
no, I don't remember how I got there. No, I ain't take tour bus.
how about from city to city?
Yeah, that was super, yeah.
And if you were aware, was Jeffrey sleeping on the walkway of the tour bus to let other people sleep in the beds?
Yeah, everybody just fall asleep anywhere, wherever you
Couldn't
can.
hear you, I apologize.
You just fall asleep wherever you got space to fall asleep.
And did Jeffrey make it known that he wanted to show people there is life outside of Cleveland Avenue?
Objection, Your Honor.
I sustain the question.
Was this the first time that you really ever, except for jails and custody, I'm excluding that. Was this really the first time, because of Jeffery Williams, that you and others ever left the area that you grew up in, born?
Objection as to others.
I sustain the question.
If he knows.
As to form.
Just
Yeah.
talk about yourself.
I wouldn't have, nah, I ain't leave out of 285 for real.
And how about private planes, airplanes? Do you know whether Jeffrey would take private planes to travel?
Yes,
And would he allow other people to see what it's like to fly?
yes,
And these are all new experiences.
yes.
And would you ever experience the fact that there's life outside of Cleveland Avenue?
Objection.
It's kind of vague. I'll sustain the question as to form, Mr. Steele. Before you pose the next question, ladies and gentlemen, how about a comfort break?
Oh, come on, Judge.
Mr. Steele, we're gonna, and ladies and gentlemen, jury, we're gonna take 10 minutes and then we'll come back and I'll kind of give you the plan for the afternoon, okay? All right, 10 minutes, remember my admonitions to you. Mr. Stevens, you can take your 10-minute break, please. All rise for our jury, please.
All rise for the jury. Damn, Young Thug big as hell back there. Nigga been eating good in the neighborhood. Need to hit some push-ups, thugger. All right, we got 10 minutes on the clock. Let me tell you something. I am so glad I ain't into the nonsense no more. Look at this. This has to be the most boringest shit you could be doing. Just think, it's the new year. We kicking it. We 10 for 10 on live streaming. They in the courtroom. Now, if you a lawyer, cool. But imagine if you were the one on trial. They got Trontavious up there. Oh, man, I don't know. Man, now you up here, you telling on your friend. I thought these was the realest niggas ever. I seen Young Thug and them out one time. You know what I'm saying? I seen one. I don't know if YSL is a gang or if it's a music label. I seen them out one time. I used to live down in Georgia. I seen them out one time. 2014 to like 2018. Man, what a time to be alive. Music was splendid. But I thought YSL was like some real niggas. It turned out they seeing that Thug ain't lived those raps. He was rapping everybody else's lives. He was wearing dresses. They were calling him Gizay on the block. So I'm like, damn, this whole time I didn't know. I thought Thug was real. You know what I mean? I thought Young Thug was real. They said he was beefing with YFN and them. And I was like, damn, he beefing with YFN. I thought Lucci and them did music too. But Lucci turned down the plea deal. They just gave Lucci, and his trial started. Well, they haven't did jury selection or anything, but they just started his trial. He just turned down a 20-year plea deal. It's crazy stuff going on out here, but it's going to be more interesting because we're going to have 2 RICOs going on. Now, Young Thug's RICO should take about a year. So we're definitely not going to be covering this every single day. It'll just be when they have key witnesses. Like if they have the lady that works at the corner store on there, we don't care really. But this is one of his friends, and he's alleged the founder of YSL, the gang. He's already established that, yes, Young Thug was not a part of Rock Crew raised on Cleveland because he wasn't raised on Cleveland. But he said that Young Thug, a.k.a. Jeffery Williams, was a co-founder of YSL, the gang. Now, Brian Steele is doing a good job of trying to separate YSL, the gang, from YSL, the label. And that's why you hear him asking all these questions about being on tour, Young Thug showing you a different way to try to legitimize what Young Thug was doing under the alias of Young Thug. Jeffery Williams is a nice man, but Young Thug is who they're trying to paint this picture of being a Young Thug. Well, it's kind of ironic that's your name, but there's a lot of stuff going on. This guy Trontavious and several others. Hopefully we see Gunner on the stand. You know, everyone's saying Gunner isn't a snitch, but if you take a plea deal in the midst of stuff, it doesn't matter anymore. Like we seen it, we heard it, it's over with. But I still would like to see what he got to say. I don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I mean? I really personally, I don't care if they go down or if they beat the case, because at the end of the day, my rent is still due on the 1st. So I personally don't care. It's just I like court. You know what I mean? I like watching court. And I never seen an actual RICO going on in real life. So I said, hell, why not? Because this right here is going to be monumental for the state of Georgia and other states. Now, if they see they can bring down Young Thug and let's say they get Lucci also, there's 2 major rappers. There's a lot of other rappers out here doing the same thing. New York, RICOs all across the board. Everyone gets a New York RICO. 6ix9ine had a RICO. Casanova had a RICO. What's the little kid name? K-Flock got a RICO. TSU Surf got a RICO, AR Ab got a RICO, but that's in Philly. So everyone up north, they get RICOs. RICOs are easy to get. RICOs is like just showing up to Oprah Winfrey show and everybody gets one. Now down here in Georgia, this right here is going to change the whole landscape and scenery because, you know, there's a lot of gangs down here. Me personally, do I feel like using lyrics? If they match up to a crime, I'm not opposed. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. If you're dumb enough to say some shit in a song that you did in real life, then that's on you, man. That's on you. That's like me getting on here and saying, yeah, man, you know, well, I got statute of limitations because I know I ain't did nothing. Let's just say, yeah, man, I sold a brick yesterday. If I say that on here and they find out that, they can definitely use this. Now you can say, oh, that's art, that's an expression. Yeah, it is, but it's an expression of the truth. You know what I mean? So we gonna see. We gonna see. One thing I did notice with the Brian Steele thing is when he started talking about Young Thug giving vehicles to people, renting vehicles if you didn't have one. Well, the whole Donovan Nutt situation is he rented an Infiniti. They took the car and they went to go shoot and kill Nutt. So when he did that, I was like, wait a minute. Why are you even saying anything about a rental car? Because that's going to get brought up. But we'll see how it goes. Brian Steele is supposed to be a top lawyer out there in Georgia. He has got a lot of people off, but this is a different ball game. I don't know if he got a RICO up under his belt, but that's my best friend. Ooh. One of the best Young Thug songs I ever heard. Well, it wasn't his song. It was when Tiger had Pass Me the Hookah. When that came out, man, pass me the hookah. I was like, damn, Young Thug. But I mean, if he get locked up, I mean, let's be real. If he gets locked up, that's doing the city of Atlanta a favor. If he's guilty of these crimes. If not, then hey, it is what it is. My whole thing is don't do any crimes and you won't even have to be in this situation. Don't post shit online. You wouldn't be in this situation. I mean, we're going to see, man. But, man, imagine you got millions of dollars and you just in here on trial. If they got Jonathan Majors from running away from a white girl, all they got to do is bring a white woman on the stand and Young Thug getting the book. I'm talking about life. But another thing is, even if there is a mistrial, they're just going to get more evidence and they're going to do things correctly. They're going to tell, hey, Trontavious, there was a mistrial. This time, if you get up there and bullshit this nigga, you going to jail. You're going to jail. As soon as you get off the stand, you're going to jail. So we'll see how all this play out. Scotty said, I'm ready for that Raising Canaan. Oh, yeah, me too. Me too. We got Are You Ready tomorrow night? So this is just Wednesday. Wednesday is kind of like my news, my current events. I'm still going to do a live tonight, depending on how long they go with this. He said once he gets back, he's going to give us the rundown the rest of the day. Hopefully he'll say, he said a 10-minute break. They might do like another hour and they'll be done for the day. And then I think they're off until next week. So we'll figure that out. But it's getting interesting. I mean, what can you do, man? What can you do? What do you guys think? Do you think Thugger Thugger is guilty of these charges? From what you know and what you've heard, even though if we were the jury, we couldn't go off of what we heard. We can only go off the evidence. But what you heard and what you know about Young Thug, or what you perceive to know about Young Thug, y'all think he did it? Y'all think YSL is really a gang and Young Thugger Thugger is the leader of all of this? I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do. It sounds bad, but I do believe that this man is guilty on all charges, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna, me personally, I believe he did all this shit, man. If he didn't do the shooting himself, they did the shooting on behalf of YSL, man. Like, even when they first got arrested in May of 22, do you know when they went to jail, there's alleged text messages? I mean, not text message, but there's a phone call from the prison asking Young Thug for permission to go stab YFN Lucci, and then he ends up getting stabbed a couple of weeks later. There's a recording of that. So for me, it's like, come on, man. Really? Of course, when the state came and arrested Young Thug, they found guns and they found, switches in there. Now, they did throw all of that out because it's fruit from a poisonous tree, meaning they can't use it because they didn't have no right to enter into the house. But the feds can pick that up. But my thing is, why does Young Thug have switches in the crib? Now, I know why Young Thug has switches in the crib, but hey, I ain't on the jury. But if I was on the jury, though, just imagine if I was on the jury, this is going to take about a year. I'm writing a book. Oh, I'm writing a book when I get out of here. Let me tell you, I'm writing a book. I might even get me a music deal, to be honest with you. So if you haven't been following the trial with the guy on the stand, what do you think about his question? I mean, not his question, but his answer. Trontavious. What do you think about Trontavious? Does he seem trustworthy? Does he seem like he knows what he's talking about, or is he just, hey man, he's up there? Hey, nah. YSL. The dawning of a thug. Hey, there you go. YSL, the dawning of a thug. That would be my book name. My book title would be YSL, the dawning of a thug. Damn, that'd be hard too. I could probably be a New York's bestseller. Probably sell 5,000 copies the first week. Hell, you only need to sell about 200 books to be a #1 seller. Yeah, he said he's being more truthful than he was the first couple of days. Hey, yeah, YSL tell or YS tell. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of jokes and stuff going on, but shit, man, they did this to themselves, man. I ain't got. That's how I always feel. Like people can say, "Oh, Mo, that's messed up. You think that he did this?" Where were all y'all at when I was facing 4 years in Leavenworth? Where were y'all at? I ain't hear nobody stand up and say that nigga Mo ain't do it. Free that nigga Mo. It was me versus the motherfucking Germans and the goddamn UMCJ. I ain't hear nobody talk about free that nigga Mo. Mo ain't do it. Nigga, it was me, my lawyer, and my witness statements that was goddamn beating that case. Wasn't no one vouching for me, so I don't give a fuck what happened to these dudes, man. If they did it, go to jail. If they didn't and they beat it, cool. But wasn't nobody out there. Ask Tommy. Ask Tommy. Me and him were in the military together. The first time they tried to hit me with Article 15 is when I got to my first base at Warner Robins. I was facing 3 years. No, I was facing the 4 years on that one. That's the case I beat y'all where I showed y'all the paperwork. They tried to give me 4 years on some bullshit. But wasn't nobody out there outside the building talking about free Mo, free Mo. I beat that shit. I had to do that shit. Wasn't nobody supporting me, so I don't give a fuck. When I was fighting that DUI case over here, y'all see my FBI records. That shit's still on there. I was fighting that. Wasn't nobody in my corner talking about free that nigga Mo, man. He ain't do it. He a real one. Nigga, I did that shit. My back against the wall, ashy knuckles. That was what Jay-Z said. Look at that. They tried to send me down. They were trying to put me in Leavenworth, nigga. And I told them straight up, if y'all gonna send me to Leavenworth for 4 years, y'all better put me in the same cell Michael Vick had, nigga. Put some respect on my name. Yeah. But I beat that shit. Try to give me 4 years. And that was Fed time. So I don't want to hear nothing about these state cases. Nigga, I was facing 4 years Fed time. Yeah, when you get arrested in the military, you do Fed time. Not state time, Fed time. So I beat my 4 years. They tried to get me, but they couldn't. You know, somehow I beat the case like Rocky. H to the is O, V to the is A. Not guilty. Y'all do not feel me. And I was the only nigga on trial for this case. Because the dude that they charged, he had got out, they kicked him out the military. So all of the shit fell on me. And I was up there by myself. They talking about put your dress uniform on. I'm like, God damn, nigga, I ain't did nothing. But fuck it. I beat it. I know how the system worked too. So, you know, if y'all need some advice, you facing an article, holla at your boy. And I highly recommend getting you a real lawyer. I use the area defense counsel on base. That's the free lawyers that you get. But I was like, hell no, nigga. They started talking 4 years. I said, nigga, let me scrounge around and scrape up a couple of dollars, nigga, and got a real lawyer, nigga. I spent what? I had to do $2,500 retainer fee, but it came up to like $4,200. I was like, man, I ain't risking this shit. But yeah, man. So if they did it, life. But if they didn't do it, nah, Let them boys go. Young Thug, make some music, man. We looking for that barter 5 or barter 6. But even on top of that, though, there are several members of YSL that are documented gang members that have murder charges. The guy that shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus, he's in here. I think his name is Stillwell. He's in here. So when they keep talking about that event at Compound where Trontavious, they showed up and spent that $500 for the VIP, that's the night that Wayne's tour bus got shot up. That guy is part of the RICO. He's already been arrested. He went on the run. They called his ass. So he's back. So initially, there was no ties between him, Young Thug, and Birdman, even though Birdman was on the phone call with him talking about, come get your money. Business is business. So it's like it's alleged that Birdman put the money on him, but it is what it is. So we got a lot of stuff to do. And I mean, the case is interesting. Even though it's rappers, I look at it as more as that, like, this is a big RICO case here. You know what I'm saying? This is a millionaire RICO case. This isn't some low level just crimes that are being committed by some, you know what I'm saying, some local gang. This is some real shit here. Plus, we got this RICO, we got YFN RICO, and then we got Donald Trump's RICO. All of these are going to be happening down here in the state of Georgia, in Fulton County. So it's about to be a lot of shit going on. And we're going to keep up with it, man, because shit. Now, they got 300 witnesses for this, so this could go on and on forever. Like I said, we're definitely not going to be covering this day by day. And they ain't got my attention like that. It's just Wednesdays, we got some free time so I can do a live stream. Would y'all want to do this? And I'm still going to do my articles later on this evening. But like I said, man, I'm just trying to get the channel up and going, man. Get back in the algorithm because I think I'm blocked. You know what I mean? Think they fucking with your boy a little bit, but it's all to the bueno. What's up, Rashonda? All right, cool. We could do that. You know what I mean? Hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button. We got, let me see. I ain't put on no timer, but what articles am I doing tonight? So tonight we're doing Dr. Melissa Ivers, the doctor that was stealing from Target. We're going to talk about her. And Eric has sent me, there's a teacher down in Louisiana, I want to say, that was rapping and dancing. Well, it turned out she was messing with the students. So we're going to talk about her goofy ass. And then we'll probably have a free one. I'm not sure what the third article will be. Eric, what was that lady's name? Hold on, I'll bring it up. So the lady I'm talking about, matter of fact, I'll just bring them up real quick. Doctor. So tonight we'll be talking about this doctor here, doctor accused of shoplifting. Yeah, so she's a doctor in New Mexico. And then we got the Andrina. You know, I ain't good with names. Then we got this rapping teacher right here. We're going to talk about her goofy ass. You know what I mean? And then we got to find a gentleman that's fucking up because we got 2 women on the board today. Let me see. Is this her Instagram? No, I don't think this is her. I don't want to put it on this lady. I don't think this is her. Nah, this is someone else that just got the same name. I don't think this is her. Let me get off her page so we ain't. This is who we talking about right here. This goofy motherfucker. Oh, wait, was that her? So she was rapping and stuff. I mean, it was trash rapping, but I guess it was all right for school. But yeah, so these are the two people we got for tonight right now, and then we'll figure out who our third suspect of the evening is. That's why I hope this trial don't go all night, because I got to wash clothes. I got to wash clothes tonight. Scotty said, of course, she's in Georgia. Yeah, man. Let me see if they got a video of her goofy ass. Here we go. This is just so you guys can get a little sneak peek of what's cracking. I need to start streaming on TikTok. Someone send me a link or something on Discord to how to stream on TikTok. Because I need to start streaming on TikTok a little bit. But this is what she used to do.
Brand new year and I'm locked in. Far as this teaching go, I am unreachable. I'm number one in your top 10. Miss Williams, been popping. 2020 new school, you're dropping.
Do y'all remember the high school teacher, Miss Williams, that went viral?
Yeah, virtual, and you know Miss Williams go viral.
5, a former Monroe Comprehensive High School teacher, is now facing 2 counts of sexual assault with a student after she resigned from the school system last week.
WALB News 10's Mackenzie Petrie joins us live in the studio with those new details. Mackenzie?
Yes, Adriana Williams was.
Adriana. God damn, nigga. Just call her Audrey. Why you got to put a Anna at the end? Her daddy name must have been like Andrew or something. He's like, I want to name her Adriana. Well, Adriana got an SA charge now. Fuck Adriana. So that's a little sneak peek of what we got tonight. Scotty said she was snapping. Hey, y'all, rate her skills. Rate her skills.
I am unreachable. I'm number one in your top 10. Miss Williams, been popping. 2020 new school, you're dropping. No COVID-19, ain't worried about a thing. When economy ain't no stopping. I can teach your class with red, this drip hard. Go ahead, take a picture on your iPhone. 2020 school, yeah, virtual. And you know Miss Williams go viral.
5.
Hey, Miss Williams. Now she about to be in there talking about give us free. But it's a woman, so she probably ain't gonna get no time. They're probably gonna give her what, probation or some shit like that. Look, she was released on a $2,000 bond. Come on, man. Even if it was a white dude. Oh shit, take your seats, please. Court is in session. Hear ye, hear ye. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Court is back in session. Look at Trontavious, bro. They could have braided him up or something, man.
All right, councilors, we're going to go ahead and summon our jurors at this point in time.
Oh, my bad. Man, where the damn jury at, man? Bring these niggas in here. They back there kicking it. These niggas taking forever, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Monique, these are not gray sweatpants. These are gray jeans. These are gray jeans. Come on, have some respect. We're in the courtroom. Yeah, I got a hoodie on, but Trontavious got one on. You think I'm gonna show up to court in sweatpants? No. Hey, the judge kicked the lady out for chewing gum last week.
All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably wondering, well, what's the deal we're gonna eat? We're gonna go to about 1:30, and then that'll be the conclusion of the
1:30.
day,
So we got about
and then I'll give you more
35
instructions,
minutes.
All right. So, Mr. Steele, you can continue your examination at this point in time, please.
We got about 35 minutes. We good. That ain't bad.
Mr. Stevens, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, growing up in the area that you grew up in, how many law enforcement officers came to you with opportunities for jobs?
Nigga, what?
No.
How about law enforcement officers who gave you encouragement to lead a better life? Tell the jury.
No.
You mentioned with the Honorable Prosecutor, King Slime is something that Jeffrey is referred to as. You remember that?
Yes.
Do you know if that is any way tied to some sort of criminality, that name?
No.
Now, Slime, you mentioned earlier Lil Wayne, remember?
Yes.
And I believe you testified earlier that by listening to Lil Wayne's music in about 2011, 12, I know dates are...
Objection, Your Honor. What does this have to be? Relevance. Exactly.
But before you ever used, would Jeffrey or anybody in that circle use Slime, where did you hear that term?
So now he's trying to get King Slime off of Young Thug's name.
The music artist from when?
Okay, for the musical artist, Lil Wayne. Okay. Are you familiar with the song "Look at Me Now"?
Yes.
What's
Do you
poppin',
know it
Slime?
came out in
Nothing five.
2011. If you don't, just say I don't know the year.
I don't know the year.
Who sings "Look at Me Now"? The
Chris
song.
Brown. Chris
Lil
Brown
Wayne,
and
Chris
Busta
Brown.
Rhymes.
In that song, do you know whether Lil Wayne refers to Slime?
Yes.
Is that one of the songs that you adopted, Slime, the use of the word slime?
No, that's not.
So he's saying that Young Thug didn't come up with Slime.
Kind of
That's
new.
what he's trying to establish.
But it ain't that new, but yeah.
It was maybe a different song?
Sustained.
You asked me what song? Oh,
Yeah.
Another question.
Do you remember what song? If you don't, that's fine.
no, I don't remember.
No, she ain't coming here with 4 fingers
Okay.
saying and not the middle finger. Is that a FU
Now,
to the
I'd like
judge?
to show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams number 12. And tell me whether you recognize this, okay?
We don't know if Trontavious' dad is Voltron or not, so that's probably what Tron maybe been a huge fan.
Yes.
And what is how do you recognize number 12?
It's an album cover.
And is number 12 depict the way that you understand and you've seen the album cover in the past?
Yes.
He didn't
Is there
put number 12 on
anything
the
different about number
on the
12
screen
versus
so we
the
can see.
album cover that you've seen in the past?
No.
And do you recognize the person in number 12, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
And is there any doubt in your mind that number 12 is not accurate of what the album cover looks like that you've seen in the past? So let me ask you a better question. Is number 12 accurate to the album cover that you've seen in the past?
He's doing a different pose, but this from the album cover though.
Okay. Your Honor, I will move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 12.
Any objections to the defendant Williams 12?
No objection.
All right, defendant Williams 12 is admitted, and judge, which is you see fit.
Okay, Mr. Stevens, who is
Come on,
that
Thug.
in Mr. Williams, number 12?
Jeffery Williams.
Truly
And,
humbled under God.
What color is the garment? What colors are the garment that Mr. Williams is shown wearing in number 12?
White top and blue bottom, sky blue bottom.
And how about the hat?
White top, yeah.
In his defense, Young Thug said he wore the dress to get his gun in the club. So that's what Young Thug said.
And how would you describe, if you could describe that garment? Would you say that that's a dress?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, man.
And how many entertainers did you know at the time, male entertainers, were wearing dresses on their album covers?
Relevant and relevant.
Point of the question, I'll sustain the question.
Did you ever see another album cover with the entertainer in a dress who's a man?
Objection. Relevant.
Sustained.
How about the necklace? Do you see the necklace or the necklaces on Mr. Williams?
Yes.
How would you describe how many necklaces do you see?
Hey, bro. I bet Young Thug never thought wearing this
I
dress.
just know there's several of them.
He
Okay,
never
fine.
thought wearing this dress that would
And
show up in the courtroom.
Would you describe the top two necklaces as tight around the neck?
Yes.
Do you remember which album this is from, the album cover?
Jeffrey. Yeah.
And to your knowledge, was it wildly popular on social media?
Yes.
Jeffrey.
Are you familiar with whether Jeffrey has children?
My bad. Keep yawning.
He just
Yes.
hear me.
And do you know how many, and tell the ladies and gentlemen jury, how many children Jeffrey has?
Man, don't nobody know how many kids this nigga got.
I don't know the exact. I think about 5 or 6.
Fine. And do you remember growing up calling a location Haiti?
Yes.
Explain that to the ladies and gentlemen jury, what Haiti is.
Lil Haiti.
Set apartments on Cleveland Avenue.
And do you know why it's called Haiti, or why you call it Haiti?
Yes.
Tell the jury.
Young Thug labeled it that.
It was from my understanding of what the actual place Haiti was like. It was, from my understanding, Haiti was like run down.
The country?
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Did you place on your body a tattoo with the word Haiti?
Yes.
Did we see that earlier when you were being shown pictures of tattoos?
Nah, it's on my leg. No, it's on my leg.
That's Do you know, if you know, is one of Jeffrey's daughters named Haiti?
Yes.
And do you know, if you know, does Jeffrey have his children tattoos, names on his,
Objection, relevance.
That's the objection.
are you familiar with Jeffrey's tattoos, or some of them? How about on his face?
Yeah.
Do you know whether Jeffrey has Haiti on his face, tattooed on his face, if you know?
So he's trying to say that this apartment complex is named Haiti
I
after
think
his
Haiti on
daughter.
his chest.
That's fine. Okay.
It's
Jonesboro
not clear.
South. You know Jeffrey to come from there?
Yes.
Okay. Until it was torn down?
Yes.
Does Jeffrey have Jonesboro South, if you know, tattooed on his body?
Yes.
Where would that be, if you know?
Oh yeah, that's what's on his chest.
Okay.
My bad.
It's okay. So Jonesboro South is tattooed on Jeffrey's chest as far as your memory?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Do you remember there being a McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue at one time?
Yes.
Do you know the address by any chance?
Hell no,
No.
nigga.
That's fine. Do you know the, can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, jury, some of the businesses that are around that McDonald's? Well, let's start here. Make sure we're talking about the same McDonald's. Do you know the cross streets that McDonald's that you're talking about, to make sure that I'm talking about the same one?
Yeah.
What streets?
Like Mount Zion and Cleveland Avenue.
And can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, jury, what stores are
Dollar
near
General.
that McDonald's when it was there?
Excuse me. Auto parts store, a gas station, a Church's Chicken restaurant, and a car laundry.
Is that McDonald's, to your knowledge, in business today?
No.
When that McDonald's was operating or in business, when it was open to the public, do you know whether it had any cameras, surveillance cameras? Did you ever notice that?
I probably wasn't paying attention to them.
That's fine.
Pretty sure they did. All stores I came. Oh, my bad. My bad.
I sustain the objection. You can rephrase, please.
Let me show you what I don't believe is admitted into evidence yet.
All right, we got new evidence.
Can I approach your honor?
You may, sir.
Can I approach you, Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what I marked as Mr. Williams #1, which is in the upper corner. Once I do that.
Nah, this ain't the K-Flock, bro. Right now, we trying to find out about this McDonald's and see what Brian's going. What's he going to tie up
Whether
here?
you recognize what is shown in Mr. Williams #1.
Yes.
And is Mr. Williams #1 accurate as of the time that this photograph was taken, whatever time? Is it accurate as far as what your memory and the surrounding areas that you described to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
I sustain the objection. You can rephrase the foundation if you can, Mr. Stevens.
Is Mr. Williams #1 accurate of what it depicts or what it shows?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything from your observations in the past, anything different about #1 as to the general layout of those buildings and those streets?
No.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams #1.
Any objections to defendant Williams 1 now?
Your Honor, I just asked for a little bit more clarity or asked for it here.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Stevens, at what time or what year is it that the imagery in Defendant's Exhibit number 1 reflect? What year is it that you're talking about that it accurately reflects? Do you know?
What up, Rick James?
What year this picture was taken?
Yeah, yes.
No way.
When you were asked by Mr. Steele, does it reflect the year that you remember? What did you understand him to be saying?
I thought he said that this area, I understood him to be saying that is this how this area look, ever.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay, at what time did that area look like that?
Good question to figure out if he knows what the fuck he's really talking about. Because if this picture's new, then it doesn't have any relevance.
Them remodeling this McDonald's, so since them remodeling this McDonald's, that's how it look.
And around the time, no exact year, just, do you have any frame of reference to tell me when they remodeled that McDonald's?
I remember when they remodeled it and it started looking like that.
All right, fair enough. Your Honor, I would ask for a little bit more clarity as to the time frame or something, but.
That's a good one.
How about using the October 2014 date? I'm just talking about that arrest that you referred to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
At and before, around that time, is that the way that area looked? Before you were arrested, approximately October 2014?
This McDonald's looked like this before I left for prison.
Okay. And when did you leave for prison, unfortunately?
2015.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of number 1.
No objection.
D1's admitted that it publishes you see that.
Sorry. Okay, now, we are going to use that with another witness, Your Honor, but thank you, sir. With regards to
Okay, Brian, I see what you're doing.
snitch, do you remember the district attorney asking you about a snitch?
Yes.
What that word meant to you?
Yeah.
And you said something to the effect of a person who works with the police. Did you say something
Objection,
like
Your
that?
Honor. Mischaracterization.
Did you say something like that?
Yes.
Now, to you, since you were asked about by district attorney, does a snitch mean someone who lies?
Maybe to your brethren, but not to the law.
It could.
And does a snitch mean somebody who was given an incentive? That may be a bad word. Let me change it. Is a snitch someone who benefits by testifying for the prosecution? Is that your understanding of that word?
It could.
You were asked about rat. Remember the district attorney asked you about rat? And if you don't remember, just say, I don't remember.
I thought she said snitch. I know. I thought she just was talking about snitch.
Okay, all right. I want to talk with you. Do you remember being asked questions about something called false flagging? Do you remember something like that?
Yes.
Tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, how you, Mr. Stevens, understand the phrase false flagging. If at all, in any context, the way you understood the question.
I really don't understand when she asked me.
Hey, bro, come on, man. Answer the question. False flagging, man. Meaning claiming a set that you ain't with.
Do you know? And if you don't know, say fine. It's good. It's all good. It's what you know. Do you know? And can you tell us what false flagging means to you in the context of a supposed criminal street gang? Can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, what you understand, if at all? If you say, I don't understand what you're saying, just say, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm only familiar with it because of like things I done heard. So I don't know if what I heard was true. So
That's fine. Okay. I want to go back to criminal street gang YSL. Okay?
yeah,
You testified to that earlier in your testimony. Remember that?
right.
All right. To join YSL, is there any type of pamphlet or Bible or rules that you're aware of if somebody wants to be YSL gang?
No,
You want to join
Do
YSL?
you know
Catch your
whether,
eye.
in order to claim that they're part of YSL, somebody has to be beaten in? Do you know what beaten in means?
yeah,
You learned that in juvenile detention center,
yeah,
juvenile jail?
yeah.
Is there any, to your knowledge, is there any type of requirement that to become a member or an associate of YSL, you have to be beaten in?
No, I know for a fact you don't have to be beat in.
How about
Oh.
to leave YSL criminal? I'm just talking about criminal street gang YSL that you described earlier. Is there any type of beating out to get out?
No,
Any type of being sex in, maybe a bad term, somebody having sexual relations with a number of people in order to become a member of YSL? Is that anything like that?
no,
How about paying money to enroll? Is there anything like that?
To enroll in the
How about
gang is
paying money to
crazy.
get out of criminal street gang YSL, anything like that?
no,
Is it true from your understanding, your experience, in your testimony, that anybody can claim to be YSL?
yes,
Do you have to know them and approve them?
no,
Do they owe anything to you?
no,
Do they have to come to you and say, I am going to commit a crime and on behalf of YSL? Did anything like that happen?
no,
Okay, with regards to Kenneth Copeland, Woody, remember talking about Woody?
yes,
Now Woody is the one that was snitching. We
If you know,
seen the
if you don't know, just
interrogation.
say,
You
I
know,
don't know. Is he from the Cleveland Avenue area?
no,
Do you know what area Mr. Kenneth Copeland or Woody is from? If you know, and if you don't know, just say, I don't know.
think from Mechanicsville or Carver Home, one of them, Carver Homes,
Carver Homes.
yeah,
And when you say one of them, what was the other one?
Mechanicsville,
Or Mechanicsville?
yeah,
Some of the jurors may not be familiar with those areas. Just you, if you don't mind, and if you know, use Cleveland Avenue and describe where would Carver Homes be compared to Cleveland Avenue at the time you're talking about, at some time.
both of those places probably 15-minute driving distance,
From Cleveland Avenue.
yeah,
And if you know Carver Homes and Mechanicsville, how close are they to each other if you can orient the jurors to that? If you know, and if you don't know, just say, I'm not sure.
probably 5-minute drive distance from each other, 5, 7,
You said 5 minutes approximately?
yeah,
Okay, and you're approximating, right?
right.
Okay. When is the first time that you remember meeting with Woody? Like my word would be hanging out with. That may be a bad term, but
Hanging
if
out.
you know. If
Come
you
on.
don't know, say, I don't.
We were hanging out the other day, me and Woody.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
This ain't going like Brian wanted it to. He was doing good at first, but this second half, Brian ain't really getting the answers he want. You don't have to be jumped in to be YSL. So that could be, okay, Young Thug wasn't jumped in. He was the founding member anyway. So if all these other members are in YSL doing things that been hanging around Young Thug, that doesn't
Okay,
look
1
good.
second.
You may, sir.
Thank you.
Come on, Brian. Get back on path. Let's get it right. We in the second half, man. Yeah, Sharon, we'll need you later on tonight then. You know what I'm saying? Get a little information on that. Now, I can't go too crazy because, you know, that's cancelization. But we'll talk about it. Okay.
I'd like to show you what I will mark it's Mr. Williams' number. I believe I'm up to 24.
Look at Trontavious. He's sleepy,
25,
y'all.
26, 27, and 28. And give me 1 second. Yes.
So they got roughly about 10 more minutes if they're going to end at 1:30, like the judge said. And we shall see. That'll give
Can I
you
ask
time to
Mr.
take a
Kokomo
shower.
to approach? If you don't mind. With your computer, if you don't mind.
Hopefully they're not about to play no music or anything. Because if they do, then we're going to be a little trashed.
Can you show the DM? Can you show the DA because they're not in color? Add one all the way through this one.
Tequila talking about she got to start eating breakfast. And it's 7:20 at night. Breakfast over with.
Come on. Come on. Thank you.
Hey, man. Stand up or kneel down.
Starts at sure and goes consecutive. Thank you.
Look at this lady, the assistant DA. Now, if I was a DA, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would get up there and I would be on Trontavious' head. Hey, listen, did you sign this plea deal? You signed this? All right, well, answer this question then truthfully, just like you said right here on this paper. YSL's a gang. You sold drugs for YSL, correct? Yes, ma'am. All right. You said that you was a co-founder with Jeffery Williams, right? Yes, ma'am. Point to Jeffery Williams so everyone in the jury will know that Jeffery Williams is a co-founder of YSL, the gang. All right. What crimes did you commit up under YSL? Okay, you sold drugs. What crimes did you tell Young Thug, a.k.a. Jeffery Williams, about? I did this crime, I did this crime. Okay. You said Young Thug rents cars for vehicles. What happened in the shooting of Donovan Peanut Williams, or whatever the hell his last name is, R.I.P.? Well, he rented. Okay, good. Jury, You heard everything here from snitch number 1. We got 13 more of these niggas plus 277 other witnesses. All right, next witness. That's all you got to do. Stop being nice with these niggas. They sign a plea deal, get on their ass, get the information, and get these niggas off the stand. Let Brian Steele do all of this. What happened in this picture? Did it look like this before you went to jail? We don't give a fuck. We already heard crimes were committed. YSL is a gang. Thugger is the leader, and he's done crimes. These niggas is just being too. I know it's early, but I'm full court press. If I was the DA, I'm locking niggas up. Now, me personally, I would never be a DA. I would be a defense attorney because I want to get people off. But if you're the DA, you got to get on their head, man. You can't allow these motherfuckers. Well, I can't really name off everybody. I can't. No, you gonna name off every person. Matter of fact, what's their old phone number?
Mr. Kokomo, Mr. Stevens.
This shit crazy.
Mr. Stevens, when we approach you, I'm just showing you.
I'd ask that they not publish the jury. I know he's not doing it intentionally, but Mr. Kokomo has them facing the jury.
I'm just showing you what's been marked as Mr. Williams on 24 through 29. But these are not colored. That's why I asked Mr. Kokomo to come up. So you could use them for the numbers, but the screen, Mr. Kokomo, would be the accurate exhibit I'm going to ask you about, okay? Okay, thank you, Mr. Kokomo. Mr. Stevens, I'm just going to go in order if you don't mind.
Tommy talking about I
You
should
need
be a
to see the
DA.
color
Hell
again.
no.
Just let us know. Number 24 that's in front of you in black and white. Mr. Williams, number 24. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Put that on the screen so we can see.
You asked me, do I know who it is?
No, nigga, who is it?
Sure. Okay. Do you know who's in that, who's depicted or shown in that exhibit?
Yes, yes.
And do you have any reason to believe from the computer screen, because that's really the exhibit, that there is any alterations to that, or is it accurate in what you know 24 to be?
Yes.
What up, Trench Gamer? Objection, Your Honor.
Form of that question regarding the computer screen being the basis for the accurate foundation is the question that I'm.
Stay. I knew it. Get out of here.
Is 24 accurate in what it depicts,
Yes,
based upon your knowledge and belief?
yes.
And number 25, if you can look at that. Do you recognize number 25 in the person who's in it?
Yes,
And is that an accurate depiction of the person who you are familiar with in number 25?
yes.
Do you have any reason to believe that there's been any modifications or changes?
No,
And you know that person to look.
no.
Number 26. Do you recognize the person in number 26?
Yes,
And does it accurately reflect the way that person looks?
Hey, shout out to
26.
Home Only Greg. He said, we know he
Have you
did
seen
that
these
shit. But
photographs
free
before,
thug
by the way?
anyway. That's how I feel.
free will.
Okay.
I believe he
Let's
did
go by
all
numbers.
this shit, but
Let's just get through
if he can beat this,
29.
all right, cool. Like I said, I ain't got no dog in the
29,
fight.
you
I'm
looking
just
29?
here for it. This is entertainment.
Number 29. You recognize the person in that picture?
Yes,
And does it accurately reflect the person who you know on that picture?
yes.
You can identify that person?
On 29.
Yes, sir.
Which person? There's a couple people on 29.
Name them all.
Okay. Do you recognize any of the people in 29?
Yes,
Okay. Do you recognize all the people in 29?
no.
Which numbers, and just use the numbers, do you recognize, have seen before, and that there's no alterations to any of the pictures?
Objection as to compound.
That's the same question.
Which numbers, and you could go one by one, starting 24, do you recognize that you've seen before and it's accurate in the
Yeah.
depiction?
Objection as to vagueness. Which numbers do you?
That's the same question, Mr. Steele. Let's be kind of clear, why don't you just take them through like one at a time? Like we start out with defendants 24.
Mr. Stevens, look at this, Mr. Williams, number 24.
Yeah,
Do you recognize that photograph?
yes,
Have you seen that photograph before?
yes.
Anything material or immaterial, meaning little, that has been changed in number 24?
No,
All right, I move for the admission of number 24, Your Honor.
Any objection to defendant Williams 24?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I
Oh,
ask to
shit.
approach.
All right, come on up, please.
What we got? Let me find out. And she said, bring the assistant up here. This is some real shit. All right. Don't go nowhere, Trontavious. Why they gonna zoom in on Thugger like that? Damn, that nigga done got big. Hey, but we ain't body shaming over here. He ain't young Thug no more. He big Thug now. Damn, I ain't never seen him. Hey, he really is truly humbled under God. I ain't never seen nobody with the Bill Cosby sweater on with the turtleneck. It get cold in there. You got to wear that turtleneck. Also, you want to cover up as many of your tattoos as possible when you're in the courtroom. You know it's tough to stay up in here too. Look at Thugger. He ain't trying to look at the camera. He already know what it is. But you would think, though, yes, this is a courtroom, but you would think from all that shit we've been hearing Young Thug say, you know what I'm saying? He would shoot birds at the judge. He would throw something at the judge. I'm thinking Young Thug was gonna get in here and act a damn fool. Boy, was I wrong. I guess he really is truly humbled under God, and everything that he's saying is a lie. You know, when I be hearing these raps, I'm trying to believe that these niggas is really out here getting it. You know what I mean? I'm thinking they really out here getting it, but they get in court. What Young Thug say? They lied to their mama, they lied to their girl, but they get on the stand and tell everything. I'm thinking YSL the real deal. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. Y'all remember Dead Presidents? When they gave Anthony all them years, what did Anthony do? Man, he threw a chair at the judge. You think Anthony was going out without a fight? I'm thinking Young Thug about to say, man, F this trial. Take me to jail. Lock me up. But nah, like all jokes aside, this gotta be some nerve-wracking shit. Like, damn. Trontavious, you already know a nigga named Trontavious ain't the brightest. This nigga Trontavious is gonna slip up and say, yeah, Young Thug shot a nigga or slapped a nigga. Like, damn, Trontavious. But the crazy thing is, man, almost everybody in YSL has been snitching since the beginning of YSL, and it's all documented. They all been telling on Lucci and them. They all in paperwork. So it's like, you can't blame anyone but Young Thug for having these gentlemen around him. We're just gonna leave it at that. But hey, guess what, man? This is life, y'all. Y'all can either A, be cool and slide it up on the streets, or you could be like Mo and just chill, play the game, go to work, sleep, travel, stay out of trouble. Or you could be like Young Thug. I tell you this, though. Young Thug eating good. We ain't got to worry about him having no complaints. He ain't like Tom Hanks on Castaway. He ain't losing weight. He gaining weight. This is what you call pushing P, pushing positivity. He's getting enough calories in each day. I don't think he's hitting the yard because, well, he's in court all day. Court 8 hours. Supposed to be 23 and 1. You remember at one point Young Thug was complaining about the living conditions in jail. Like, nigga, you are in jail. I don't think the living conditions in jail are going to be the same standard that you were living out on the streets. But if you weren't committing these crimes, then we wouldn't be here, allegedly committing them. So this gentleman right here, this is the guy that shot at Lil Wayne's tour bus right here. This gentleman right here. He shot at Lil Wayne's tour bus. It's crazy how life works, though, man. Shit. He ain't pushing commissary, Eric. That nigga eating commissary. That nigga be in there snack up, nigga. Jeffery Williams. Huh? Time for court, nigga. Damn. Dog, this is some boring shit. You know, when you go to work or you got to sit through like even a 30-minute meeting at work or something, that's the worst thing ever. Like, just send the email. But imagine having to get up every day and put on dress clothes just to sit in here. You can't talk until there's a recess. You got to sit here. You got to stay up and listen. Like, look at these dudes, man. I ain't never seen this nigga ever dressed like this a day in my life. This nigga got a bow tie on. Like, come on, man. Oh, he ain't got no bow tie. He just got a collared shirt on. I've only been selected for jury duty one time, but I didn't get picked. It was a malpractice charge against a doctor. I was trying to get on that trial. I wanted to actually go to a trial, but I didn't get selected for it. I got disqualified the second day. So I got they gave me $15 for day one, and then the second day I was only there for half a day, but they gave us the whole 15, and they paid for they validated our parking. So I've only been on jury duty once, and I didn't make it to the actual jury. But I wish I did, though. I do want to see how it is. But I've been I never took the stand, but I stood in front of a judge. You know what I mean? I stood in front of a judge a couple times. Nothing serious though, just like little traffic shit. But yeah, I mean. But that's when I told y'all about my lawyer, Cecil Williams. Cecil Williams, get you off anything. A little 250, get you out of there. Sometimes you didn't even have to show up to court. But I couldn't imagine sitting in here every single day after being locked up since May of 2022. It's almost about to be 2 years. No matter how much money Young Thug got, that nigga is living worse than us. I don't care, man. No, man. They say Young Thug, big dog in there. I don't give a fuck. The nigga's in prison, bro. Well, he's in jail. So that goes to show you, man, the nonsense ain't worth it. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll be right back. We'll take us a little break until this damn judge figures out what the hell's going on. I'm ready. Who y'all think braiding up Young Thug's hair? Bubba or Terrence? Who y'all think braiding them up? Washing his dreads and braiding them up? Trent said, look at his face. He know he going to jail. Hey, look at him though. He like, damn, boy. I guess, well, we can't say he's really been eating good. He just ain't on drugs no more, man. He ain't on that lean. He ain't smoking. Shit. The most he getting is some moonshine. Probably smoking some cigarettes in there.
As promised, it's almost 1:40. So, and since I know you all haven't had lunch and we had kind of an abbreviated schedule, we're going to go ahead and stop for the day. So, where's Mr. Stevens? Mr. Stevens? We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30, okay? Don't discuss testimony of anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay? Thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to recess for today, and as I just mentioned earlier, we will start up tomorrow morning. If you all could be here for 9:30, and we'll start sometime between 9:30 or a little after 10, and then we'll have kind of a similar day that we had today, and then that will complete our week, okay? And then I'll give you more instructions, but you know about next week, and then we'll be on administrative time next week. Give you some time to kind of take care of some other things you may need to. So, okay. Any questions of me before I give you my admonitions?
I have one question.
I was just asking just to be kind, but what does he want to tell? What does he want to ask me, madam?
I know we got the schedule for kind of prediction with January would look like a month in advance.
Yes.
Is there any kind of projection for February or March yet?
Not quite. Not quite, but we're working on it. But as soon as I let you know, I'll give you as much notice as I can, consistent with what I did last time, okay? All right, anybody else? Okay, how about jury stickers? Okay, all right. Just let us know. We know people. They'll be replenished. How are your headquarters back there? You good?
So what it looks like, they're gonna have go ahead end it today. They're gonna show up tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do a lot tomorrow. I'll get my hair cut and stuff. But then they're off all next week. So it looks like they're gonna be doing 2 weeks on, 1 week off. So they'll be allowed to take care of business because this trial has over 300 witnesses, and they said it's supposed to take a whole year to complete. So that's cool. At least they get a week off. Mr. Stevens, hopefully you don't run away. They need you back in court tomorrow at 9:30. Dog, you sitting on the stand from 10 o'clock in the morning to basically 2 in the afternoon, just telling everything you know, asking questions, asking you what did McDonald's look like in 2014. Hell, I can't remember what McDonald's looked like yesterday when I drove past it, let alone what it looked like in 2014. Well, this is court, y'all. So day 17, we got a week off. So when I get back, we'll jump right back into it. I'll be going live in probably like an hour and a half. What 7:40 shit? Like an hour, 20 minutes. I'll be right back on. We'll do our little 3 articles. You know what I'm saying? We got the doctor, the teacher, and we got the tunnels in New York. So that'd be what we cover tonight for about an hour, 2 hours. The kid said it's 737 witnesses. Oh shit. Hey, we definitely not watching 737 niggas get on the stand and tell. We don't care that much. We'll wait to the end of the trial if we really want to know. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I'll be back on about an hour and a half. We'll talk about our 3 topics, and y'all want to see more of the trial, then we'll do more of the trial because this is what I want to see. Body cam footage in court. I love watching that stuff. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back in about an hour and a half, and we'll get right back to it. Thank y'all for supporting. We're on that road to 50,000 subscribers. Support the channel. Cash App's at the bottom of the screen. MOEDOTJ. Thanks for watching. I'm out.